Date is February 18th, 1977. Over 1,000 soldiers stormed the compound in Motion, Lagos. They were not after a criminal. They were not after a terrorist. They were not even fighting a war. This was just a routine government operation to silence a man for singing a simple song called Zombie. Inside that compound was a recording studio, a medical clinic that offered free healthcare, and dozens of people who had nothing to do with the fight. It was the home of legendary musician Fela Anikulapo Kuti. But this is not Fela's story. This is the story of his mother. As the soldiers rampaged through the house, they encountered an old woman who told them she will not move. She stood her ground, she stood with dignity, and she stood for principle. Do you know what they did? They threw her from a story building. She was 76 years old at the time. She did not survive the injuries. She died months later. That woman was Funmilayo Kuti. Ask any Nigerian child about the first woman who drove a car, and they will all tell you Funmilayo Kuti. And that's it. But she was far more than that. She was not only the first woman to drive a car in Nigeria, and she wasn't even only the mother of Fela Kuti. She was a giant, a force, a revolutionary. She was the Lionness of Lisabi. Funmilayo Kuti organized the Abeokuta Women's Union, one of the most powerful women's movements in all of Africa's history. At a time when women could not vote, women could not own property, and women were treated like subjects, she mobilized tens of thousands of market women. She led protests against unfair taxes imposed on women by colonial and traditional authorities. When the Alaki of Ebalan refused to remove the repressive taxes, she marched again and again until the king was forced to abdicate the throne. Imagine that. A Nigerian king stepped down because of a woman's organizing power. She fought for women's right to vote, fought for women who were being abused. She fought for market women whose livelihoods were being stolen. She fought for Nigerian women to be recognized as full citizens, not afterthought. Her influence stretched far beyond Nigeria. Funmilayo traveled across Africa. Her influence stretched far beyond Nigeria. Abroad, meeting global leaders, campaigning for independence, equality, and social justice. And this part will shock you. She was a close friend and advisor to Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana. Nkrumah admired her so deeply that when Ghana gained independence in 1957, Funmilayo Kuti was one of the special guests invited. She started with the leaders of Pan-African liberation. She hosted Nkrumah when he visited Nigeria. They dreamed together about Africa that was free and united. Funmilayo Kuti was not just a Nigerian hero. She was a continental force, a woman who shocked empires.